They say you never hear the one that gets you, but I heard it. It was a whizzing sound, a sharp, high-pitched hiss that shouldn't have been there on a hot Saturday evening in Butler. I was standing there, looking at a beautiful crowd, tens of thousands of people who love this country as much as I do. I was talking about the border, pointing at a chart that showed just how sad things had become. And that one movement, that split-second turn to the right, is the only reason I'm standing here today. If I hadn't turned my head to look at that chart, that first bullet would have hit me right in the head. Instead, I felt it ripping through the skin of my upper right ear. There was a lot of bleeding, so much bleeding, and I realized then exactly what was happening. I dropped to the ground, and before I could even process the pain, the Secret Service agents were on me. They hit me so hard my shoes fell off. I could hear them over the microphone, the tense exchanges, the urgency in their voices as they shouted, "Shooter is down!" In those seconds under the podium, time didn't just slow down, it froze. I could see the faces in the crowd, the confusion, the great sorrow because they thought it was over. They thought I was dead. But I knew I had to let them know I was okay. When the agents lifted me up, I told them to wait. I wanted to do something for the thousands of people who were breathlessly waiting. I raised my right arm, I looked out at that record-setting crowd, and I started shouting, "Fight! Fight! Fight!" The images of that moment, with blood on my face and my fist in the air, they went viral instantly. But what people didn't see in that photograph was the cost. A brave man, Corey Compratore, a hero who shielded his family, lost his life that day. 2 others were critically injured. It was the most significant failure of the Secret Service in decades. A lapse that allowed a 20-year-old with a rifle to take a clear shot from a rooftop only 400 feet away. But the darkness didn't stop in Pennsylvania. Just 2 months later, I was in West Palm Beach at my golf club, trying to have a quiet afternoon. It was a Sunday, September 15th, and I was just playing through when things got interesting again. An agent, being very vigilant, spotted a rifle barrel poking through the shrubbery. It was an AK-style rifle, and that would-be assassin was only a few hundred yards away.
Take out that sniper.
The Secret Service fired first this time, and the man fled. He was caught by law enforcement on the highway. They found him, Ryan Ruth, and he's being held accountable now. It's a surreal feeling knowing that while you're trying to enjoy a game of golf, someone is hiding in the bushes with a powerful gun, waiting for a moment that never comes because of the bravery of the men and women who protect me. Then came the most recent event, just this past April of 2026. We were at a dinner dedicated to free speech, a beautiful evening that was supposed to bring everyone together. But a thug decided to attack our Constitution again. He charged a security checkpoint with multiple weapons. It was a traumatic experience, especially for the First Lady, because things happened so quickly. One of our brave officers was shot from a very close distance with a powerful gun. He was saved by a bulletproof vest. It did the job. I spoke to him afterward, and his spirits were high, a very proud guy. But I look at that room, a room full of Republicans, Democrats, and independents, and I saw them unify in a way that was truly beautiful. We have to resolve our differences peacefully. We have to. We cannot let these sick people take over our society or cancel our events. I've been asked why I go back. Why return to Butler? I go back because I have an obligation. We never finished what we were supposed to do that day. When I was shot, I said we were coming back, and I meant it. The people of this country are resilient, and they deserve to know that their leaders won't be intimidated by the wickedness of those who seek to destroy our republic. We've seen it throughout our history, from Lincoln to Reagan. We cannot allow this violence to be normalized. The motive of these attackers often remains a mystery, even to the FBI. Some act alone, some exploit gaps in protection, and some search for information on past assassinations, like Kennedy's, before they strike. But the result is always the same: a record-setting amount of attention and a country left wondering how we got here. There are still so many questions. Why weren't the forces able to prevent the first attack in Butler? Why was the Secret Service rejecting offers to use drones for surveillance? We've seen the investigations, the resignations, and the yelling matches in Congress. But for me, it isn't about the politics of the security footprint. It's about the fact that God alone prevented the unthinkable from happening. It's about the fact that we are a nation that resolves its differences at the ballot box, not with bullets. I've endured more attacks than perhaps any leader in history, but I remain determined. We will not allow evil to win. As I look back on these moments, the heat of the Pennsylvania sun, the quiet of the Florida greens, and the flash of violence at a press dinner, I see a pattern of strength. The images of that raised fist in Butler will remain a symbol of our re-election and our survival. We are a nation that is still processing these surreal moments, but we do it with a recognizable show of solidarity. We owe it to our children and grandchildren to stand united, to remain strong, and to ensure that the power to change America always rests in the hands of the people, not in the hands of a would-be assassin. We're going to make it bigger and better and even nicer, and we aren't going to cancel anything out because we can't do that. We have a country to save, and we have a vision for the future that is bigger than any threat. The journey hasn't been easy, and the path has been dangerous, but we will fear not. We will remain resilient in our faith and defiant in the face of whatever comes next. Because in the end, it's not about the man they tried to kill. It's about the country they can never destroy. Thank you, and God bless America.